Hey guys, this is Leon on 95. At this time, I'm still reading the Edgar Allan Poe completed tales and poems. Right now, I'm going to be trying to make a summary of the Mystery of Marie Roget by Edgar Allan Poe. It's important to note that the writer the history was based in a real situation. Edgar Allan Poe wanted to commemorate that those cases who never were solved by the police, as the Marie was a real case because she was a tobacco seller in New York City and her case never was solved. Having to know this, let's start it. He said, the, the intellect are explicit by the doctrine of possibilities. It's important to know he mentions possibilities because the case at the end, you as the writer, you have to decide which possibility is solving the case of Marie Roget, right? He said, I explained the personality of Auguste Dupin after to solve the death of the Madame L'Espanaye and her daughter. They returned to practice their old habits, stays in the Saint Germain in La Faubourg. It was the name of the hotel in France. And they still continue investigating, reading, and not in the eyes of the public, they were hiding. Um, However, the name of Auguste Dupin was so important because as he solved the case of the Madame L'Espanaye, many police departments have heard about him, has heard about his investigation and how he solved the cases. So he was an important element for solving cases with the police department. Why? So he was contacted to solve the case of Marie Roget 2 days after of the rumor. Yeah, after the rumor, he was contacted to solve the case. Say, the mother it was the name Estelle Roget, and her father died early when she was still young, and they lived in the Rue Pavée in Saint Laurent. Marie was 22 years old, and she was a perfume seller in the Palais Royal. She was so beautiful, so enchanted, and many adventurous customers were buying her products, and this attracted Leblanc, who was also a seller, and he hired to Marie to sell his products. In that way, many adventurous customers will arrive and the money will be doing for him, okay? Suddenly she disappeared. For a week, she disappeared, and when she returned, she was sad. Her face expresses something unusual. And then stayed for 5 months still doing the work as a seller. However, during the five after the 5 months, 4 days after, 4 days before, 4 days after, her body was found floating in the Rue Pavée Saint Andre. It was a crime, and all Paris was in shock. Even the political news no, it wasn't important as the case of the Marie Roget. They offered more than 1,000 francs to see if someone has something to offer, if someone has something to help the police to investigate the case, but no one's answered, even if it was a money for a recompenses. When Dupé he heard the 13th of July in 180s, the reputation he accepted the case to solve, and Edgar Allan Poe, as the best friend of Auguste Dupin, recollected every news and every edition of the newspaper to start the investigation. Marie Roget, who she lives in the Pavé Saint Andre, left the home 9 a.m. on Sunday, 2000 June 108. Jacques Stouache, and only him, knew that she was going to visit her aunt in La Pensione. It was a raining day, and the moment Marie said, I will never see Marie again. Then two fishermen were in the boat, and one of them recognized um, Marie more than the other, recognized the fear they found the cadaver. And it was a nut and a special, it was a nut in her throat with a special string that only the marina knew about. When Sauer's touch was called to give his activities, which he did on Sunday, he can explain it. L'Etiole, which is a newspaper, says there are many family contradictions. Marie was alive when she left the home and visited her aunt at 9 a.m. on Sunday. Then the Wednesday, her body was flowering 3 days. It Marie. They say, Letiol says 3 and 6 days is the time required for decompose a body in the river. Also, they mentioned that it could be a gang member. Le Commerciel, she said, Marie was so popular. She couldn't walk even 3 walks without no one recognizing her. And also they mentioned that they found in the floor that a barrel was there. Le Soleil say her clothes are with mojo. Le Soleil mentioned about the clothes found near the river, and they knew, and also they mentioned she keeps a roadside of Barrier de Roule. A black man was with her. Then a gang member followed her, and this gang member committed crime with another couple 1 hour after. Saunestach, who was the boyfriend of Marie Roget, decided to kill himself. He left a letter for Marie saying, I can live without you. At this point, Auguste Dupin was so it was so difficult for him to solve this crime, so he needs more evidence. L'Etoile, with another newspaper, says the redactor want to search. He's mentioned I L'Etoile say the redactor want to search. They not follow the truth. They need to marry Roget alive because they saw the arguments. It was incoherent to throw the body and absurd before midnight near the river or in the river. They say the experience shows us that the body needs 10 or more days to decompose. Even if there are a canoes foreign in the water, if the body will return to go under if it's not stripped. Le Moniteur, which is another newspaper, says L'Etoile is wrong. Examples of the blurry demonstrate that if a person can swim and put a position like this, they can be floating. However, if they don't know how to swim and they die in the process to trying to survive, her hands will be like this because they are desesperated. And the Boreal Marie was founded, right? His the monitors say the miserables who commit the crime during a task anyway. Le Commerciel, which is another newspaper, said logic are based on imperfection. A gun kidnapped her. Uh, yeah. So the gun kidnapped her, and without no one's notice. So how can this happen if she was so popular? Le Soleil say. He repeat the author diary. Le Soleil was examining all other news about the Marie Roget. In a week, Auguste Dupin discovered the Marie 3 years ago, disappeared for a week. Later, she appeared with a friend on Sunday, 23 July. A couple saw, I mentioned that what I said before, that the gang following and a couple, and this couple was kidnapped by these gang members, and this gang member disappeared. The intelligence of the Goose Dupin had something to tell us. He said it was an official marine. He discovered that she was connected with official marine. The seductor took the week when she disappeared, and he said, "Hey Marie, will you go with me? Just escape from me. Marry me with me." That's the reason when she told best um, his boyfriend that she will stay in her in the with her on that Sunday because as a boyfriend he wanted to look for her and arrive at home safe, but she was trying to escape and only know by she the motives or circumstances that she did that, and that's the reason he was the only person that knew about eh, the Marie staying with her out. The girl, no, the gang members, it is so difficult for them to commit this crime. Now let's analyze it. Le Soleil say clothes were found and many part of the clothes were tried and it was many forces to try a piece of clothes. So you could imagine this. Le Soleil is saying five people against one woman, and these women could fight with these five people. That is something, the order of the numbers. Madame Deluc and Terson, they were the person who funded the cloth. But we're not focusing the clothes, but let's continue. Le Soleil say, who did this crime, didn't have a handkerchief. Now imagine it. Many gang members have a handkerchief, and these gangs didn't have. So how can you commit the crime? Because do you remember when I say that her body was a special was a special nude in her throat by Marine? And the conclusion is Auguste Dupin say, who committed this crime was only one person, and he committed this crime for the first time. He was so worried. After to commit the crime, he saw the body, and he was so desperate. That's the reason he attached her throat and dragged her like this until to find the boat. And he knew the location of the boat because he was a marine. After, when he was with the boat in the boat, he threw the bar in the river and he abandoned the boat and he returned where he was. I don't know. It's, as I say, you have to conclude this because there are coincidences. There are many presumed people who commit this crime, but this case is not solved. The killer threw the body, as I say. Now only God know who commit this crime. But I think that let Auguste Dupin make excellent connection. I will say connection because he connected every piece of the newspaper and demonstrate that the crime was doing by only by one people. It, and this person will never return to the friends again. And that is how it ends. And they say there are infinity series to look. The truth it is in the details. As a reader, I have to find every detail that I will try to share it with you. If you didn't understand, please read this amazing history of Edgar Allan Poe, the murder of Marie Roget. I'll see you next time, readers.